closet pickers, welcome back. Today we are going to install an LR Baggs Anthem pickup in this J200. I'm really excited to get started on it, so let's begin. All right, welcome back. Just wanted to get you another picture of what we are installing today. It is the LR Baggs Anthem. It is a dual type pickup. This pickup here attaches just in front of the bridge plate here underneath. And then we have what's the piezo or piezo, however you want to pronounce it, comes up and it will sit along the ridge in here inside the saddle. And then this will sit back down on it. I have marked this previously to show the height, because when I put this wire in there, it's going to raise the action. It's going to raise that bridge up a little bit, so I'm going to have to sand off the bottom parts, or at least some of the material away to make it back to where it's at right now. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, first of all, I'm going to drill a hole here so when I put the piezo wire in there, it can go down inside so it lies flat in this crevice here. So it makes perfect contact all the way across. So you reach in here, making sure that the bracing, wow, it feels like it's really close. Never a fan about drilling into a guitar. That was right next to the bracing. That was very close. Now I did that one straight down. Now this one here I'm going to do on a little bit of an angle because it's going to come up from underneath, and I don't want it to have a sharp bend in it. I want it to kind of like just gradually lie across in that. So I'm going to shut this off so I can pay a little bit better attention this time. I'll be right back. Okay. Moving along, the one step I did first was I had to ream out the end pin here where the strap connects, because basically it's just a screw hole holding on the strap button. You take that out, and then luthiers normally have a reaming bit that they put in. I do not have one, so I very carefully, I drilled them out. I started with the smallest bit that I have. And what I did is, you can see all these bits. I went through each and every one, started down here, and I went all the way across. Very carefully, very slowly, and taking my time, because something like that, if you force it, you could split the wood, and that's not good. So if you take your time, it can be done this way. I'm not going to recommend that you do it. But those bits are quite expensive. If you get the one that they call for, I think it's by Stumac, it's like $125. And I'm not a luthier, so I would use it basically once, maybe twice in my lifetime. So I went ahead and tried this, and it worked. It worked really well. So we're going to move along. Now I've drilled the holes, so to find out where I'm going to feed this piezo through. And if you can see that black dot, see it's a black dot on there. You want that facing up. See, you want that facing up, because then that's the side that needs to make contact. So what I'm going to do is, I have a piece of wire here down through the guitar, so I can have an idea of where I need to come up with this wire. And it's going to be basically luck, as we're going to put it. So I'll be back. Once I get it back up there, I will return. All right, I'm back. It actually wasn't as bad as I expected. I did have to do a little maneuvering, like twisting, because it is kind of snug through that hole, but you don't want it too sloppy. So it moves in there quite nicely. And then I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to push it down through the other side. Got a little tool here. And there it is. It's in there flat, and then I have plenty of lead to go into the connector here. So, and it's very well marked. So piezo would go into there, so when the time comes, it's going to go right in there. So now I'm going to move on to the next step, and I'm going to mount the microphone, which is right here. Now, I did hear from a rep. I didn't personally hear from this. I watched a video and learned this watching a gentleman install it. This double-sided tape, he recommended using a little something more stronger to keep it in there. And I think I'm gonna do the same, because if it falls out, then then you got to go back in and repair it. So I'm going to see what I have as far as a little bit better adhesive that I can add to that, and then we will install the pickup. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to install this. I put a little bit, I'm not nuts about doing this, of crazy glue. I put just some on that. I got the adhesive tape off. And the other thing is you want to remember is when you're installing this, you want this wire running up towards the top of the guitar. You want that cable coming up so it reaches the controls unit up here easier. So here we go. Then you just hold it in there. Wow, that went way too easy. I've been fighting with this thing off camera for quite some time here. They don't give you much room in here because that bracing comes in. It's like that. It's like because it's an X. It's really tight in there to get that in there between, right in front of this bridge here. In fact, it almost feels like it's on a little bit of a tilt, but I guess if it's on there, it's on there. So next, I'm assuming that's in there pretty good. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the actual battery pouch that goes right here at the neck joist, right here with there's a spot right in here for it. And just another kind of thing to think of is you want to put the battery so it's in like this. So all you got to do is reach down in here, grab the battery out. Because it really doesn't matter. But again, with the cables reaching, you want the shortest distance. And here, I just realized, we have all of the tabs that I'm going to put in there to route the cables to make them nice and neat along the body of the guitar. So they're just not in there just like all dangling around. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so what I have done is I have taken just a regular guitar cable with a straight end on it, and I've plugged it into the jack itself. I had to remove the outer shielding because it wasn't big enough to go through the hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully pull this through like so. Turns out I may have to ream that out a little bit more than I thought. So I'll be back. Okay, just a couple little side notes. You see how far I've got this nut back here, so there's like a lot of jack that's coming out, and you're going to need every bit of that, especially on this type of guitar, because there's bracing obviously at the back. I'm assuming most acoustics are going to be like that anyway. So it's kind of funny because I thought I was only going to need about up there, so I kept fighting with this. But it turns out to have enough to come through the backside through the button there, you're going to have to put that nut down there pretty far. And it's just going to be, you're going to be playing with it back and forth to make sure, is it, do you have enough? That type of thing. Because remember, you got another nut that's going to go on the outside along with the big the big piece that goes on where you attach your strap. So, and it did turn out, I did have to ream this out a little further. I had to take it all the way to a 1/2 inch, and that's what they recommend. But when I was testing it upstairs, it was going fine from the outside. But when I tried to put it in from the inside, it was not working. So it does turn out that I did need to ream that out to a full 1/2 inch. So I'm going to feed this through now. And I should have enough right there, and I'll take a picture of it, and I will post it right now so you can see how far it takes, how far you need to pull that nut down before it attaches. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, major update here. The brace that's at the butt of the guitar obviously must be very thick, and I have had to remove the actual nut that's supposed to go on the inside. So now all I have is this kind of lock type washer to hopefully when I tighten it up from the outside, it'll grab into the wood. But I need at least this to get enough material through the bottom of the guitar so I can attach everything else. So just wanted to give you that update. Not all guitars are going to be the same, obviously, but in this case, that's what I have to do with this one. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. Now I'm going to install the controls. And then, as I had stated before, at the request of LR Baggs rep, they said put a little bit of extra love into adhesive. So I'm going to put this in here. Oh, that's the only problem with doing it this way, because there's no room for error. I gotta admit, I'm not loving doing it this way. It seems to be on there. So we're going to continue. I'm going to hook everything up. All right, I've got the controls installed. They seem to be staying there. I just hooked up the battery, and I'm going to put that in the pouch. Then I'm going to restring it, and we're going to take it for a test run. All right, I'll be right back. Welcome back, Closet Pickers. Well, I got it installed, and I will say that there were a couple little, things I had to alter. Bottom line is you can do this if you've just got patience and just go easy, Just take your time with it and it'll work out. But it sounds great. If I go all the way to one side, that's the piezo. If I go to the mic, which is all the way over, warms it up a little bit. So I like kind of keeping it right in the middle, get a blend of both. Hope you like what you've seen today. Don't forget to hit subscribe when you see my YouTube channel, and then also go to my webpage, guitarcloset.net. This is Terry. We'll see you soon. Thanks.